everybody, it's Vanessa Allen from IELTS Prep, and welcome to my new video series called Chit-Chat, where I'm going to be talking to my best friend in London, Julie, and we're going to have conversations so you can see how native speakers have natural conversations. We're going to be using a few topics which you will probably find in the IELTS speaking exam. And of course, we will introduce some vocabulary and expressions along the way. But the most important thing I want you to listen for is our pronunciation features. Listen for how we're chunking, how we're grouping our words together, our linking of sounds, our word stress, our intonation, the rhythm of our voices, all of those things. They're great pronunciation features that you should be working on for your speaking exam. So I hope that you're going to benefit from our weekly videos. At the moment, they're going to be weekly videos, and I hope you're going to benefit from them. So enjoy. Okay, so actually, Jules, this is a very nice topic for me to talk about because I love them. So what about you? Do you like cakes?
Oh, I love cakes. I think as my friend Vanessa, you know how much I love cakes.
What's your favourite cake?
I think my favourite cake would have to be carrot cake. It's beautiful, moist, and that delicious cream cheese topping that carrot cakes have. Lovely.
Yeah, and do you put walnuts in your carrot cake?
Definitely. The carrot cake I use is a recipe from my sister-in-law, Faye. And there is so many things in it. It's got walnuts, it's got raisins, but most surprisingly, it's actually got pineapple, crushed pineapple.
Oh, yum.
And the pineapple keeps the cake very moist and delicious. So it's a fantastic recipe.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. Next time I come to London, you'll have to make it for me.
I'll definitely make you a carrot cake. That's no problem.
And are there any cakes that you don't like?
Yes, coffee cake. I've never understood coffee cake because cakes are supposed to be beautifully sweet and delicious, but coffee is quite bitter. And the other thing is, you have a coffee cake and you have it with coffee. It's like coffee overload.
And it'll keep you awake all night.
Absolutely. What about you? Is there any cakes that you don't like?
I'm not a fan of strawberry cakes. No, I don't really. I mean, I would probably eat one if somebody put a piece of strawberry cake in front of me. I would eat it, of course, but I wouldn't choose it if I was to go into a restaurant or into a shop and buy. No, I prefer like carrot cake, banana cake, chocolate cake. But yeah, I'm not a big lover of strawberry cakes. Well, strawberry flavored.
You know that we're in lockdown at the moment, and I'm trying to use the time to test some new recipes. So I'm trying to learn how to cook a Victoria sponge. Do you know what that is?
I know what it is, but just explain it to our viewers.
So it's a very English cake, and it's two very light, fluffy sponges sandwiched together with whipped cream and strawberries. So you just reminded me of it. But there's a knack to getting it to get the sponges to be very, very light and fluffy. Supposed to be quite airy, and they're quite hard. I think they're quite hard.
Oh,
yeah, no, I'm going to give it a try.
Yeah, you definitely should. And then you can send us some pictures of how it turned out. But I'm actually drooling at the moment at the idea of eating a Victoria sponge. Actually eating any cake. Yes, I would love to have a piece of cake right now. And what about baking? I mean, you said that you love cooking, but do you bake? Do you bake not only cakes? Are there other things that you bake, like biscuits or anything?
Yeah, I love baking. I think baking is a real treat because not only do you come out with something delicious, but your house smells like vanilla and hot butter and chocolate. So you get all the smells that go with it. I love to bake biscuits. My mother always said we should always have biscuits in the tin in case anyone comes to visit. But unfortunately, if I have biscuits in the tin, I just eat them. that's not such a good idea for me.
Oh, that's the same for me. I mean, I don't have an oven at the moment, so I can't bake. But if I did, it would be a disaster because people don't come to visit me. So I'd be the only one to eat them. So big disaster for me.
Well, I know that you've got a beautiful bakery just around the corner from where you live, haven't you? And they make delicious cake.
Yeah, they do, unfortunately. I try to avoid walking down that street at all cost because if I walk down that street, I'm liable to veer into the bakery.
Well, you know, every now and again a little treat is a good thing, but I understand.
That's very true. Now, just completely changing topics here. We've been talking about cakes, and normally cakes are not very healthy, especially if eaten in excess. But what some people do, I'm not one of them, you're not one of them, but what some people do when they eat cakes or they eat desserts or anything sweet, they will then exercise to counteract the calories that they've just taken in from the sweet food. So they might go running. Do you go running?
Vanessa, you have known me for 25 years. Have you ever known a time where I've gone running?
No.
I would love to say that every morning I get up and I have a really brisk jog for 2 miles and exercise frantically every day, but I really don't like running. I've never understood how anyone can like it.
Yeah.
It seems painful to me.
Yeah,
it makes
me too.
My ankles hurt and my knees hurt and it makes me puff. So if I'm going to do exercise, I would rather do exercise maybe to music so it feels like I'm dancing, or just exercise in my own home.
Yeah.
Or a nice walk. I do like a nice walk. So.
Yeah, so do I. And do you remember when was the last time that you ran? Can you remember?
Probably when I was about 8 years old and my brothers were chasing me.
Yeah, I was probably the same, except I have run across the road here in Egypt to try and get across the other side. I have done that, but that's the extent. Sometimes I will run to the kitchen, or exactly, or we have an expression in English we use, like, oh, I'll just run to the bank. I'll just run to the chemist. I'll just run somewhere. It means that we're not physically running, that we are just going to that place very quickly. So I'll just run. I'll run over and see you in a minute, something like that. So we often use that expression. Yeah. That's the only running that I do. Yeah.
I occasionally run for a bus.
Yeah, occasionally run for a bus.
If I think I'm going to miss the bus and I need to get there in a hurry, I might sort of run. It's a kind of a run.
It's not a real run. It's a shuffle.
Half a run.
Yeah.
But the other thing with running is that to run properly, you have to be well prepared. So you have to have proper running shoes and the proper clothing and leggings and things like that to make sure that you're prepared for your run, and I don't have any of those things.
No, neither do I. No. And to me, it's just, I don't think it's a good, enjoyable activity to do. I mean, it's just not me. It's just not me. So it appeals to a huge percentage of the population, but I'm not one of them.
No. Well, I think that's why we're good friends, Vanessa, because we share these things in common. We both hate running.
Exactly. And most forms of exercise, like you, I enjoy walking. I enjoy, I can sit on a exercise bike or a treadmill. I wouldn't run on the treadmill, but I would certainly walk on the treadmill. But, certain lower impact exercises I quite enjoy.
Well, in this period of lockdown, because we're not doing so much, I think it is really important to do some exercises every day because we're not out and about as much as we used to. And I have been doing exercises, and I have to say, I don't like doing them very much, but sometimes we have to do things that aren't so enjoyable, but we know that they're good for us. So
yes,
there you go. I'm doing my exercises.
That's very good. You're doing better than me because I'm not. I will try to be better. That was a good conversation today. Thanks, Julie. We spoke about cakes and baking and running.
Welcome.
And I look forward to our next episode where we'll be talking about some other interesting topics.
Thanks, Vanessa. It's always lovely to see you.
You too. Have a good day. Bye.